Whip it up, chef.
Welcome back to another video, guys. In today's episode, I'm going to be going over how to use automation in Logic Pro X. So what is automation? Essentially, automation is something that allows you to adjust the parameters of an effect or an EQ, volume, panning between the ears while the beat is playing. So I'm just going to go through it with you guys on how to use this in Logic Pro X. It's very helpful. So let's just hop straight into it. All right, so automation. So to open up automation in Logic, you're gonna wanna click A on your keyboard. That's the shortcut for it. Or you can also go up to this little icon right here. This is the automation toolbar here. Yeah, so I'm gonna play you guys the beat I have really quick, and I'm gonna show you how you can automate tracks so they sound super cool. So pretty basic beat right here. It's like a kind of house poppy type beat, super vibey, but it's missing something, and
Whip it up, chef.
that something is automation. So what we need to add to this, if you guys go up to your top window, your like little toolbar up top of your Apple computer, and you go to track, and then you go to show output track. So what this does, it's going to allow us to affect all the sounds coming through the stereo out. And so I want to put a high pass filter on this whole entire melody for the intro. So I'm going to go to my EQ. I'm going to click on the high pass EQ. You want to make sure you turn it on. If it's off, it's not going to automate. So that's like that. And then we're going to go to this little bar right here. It says display off. We're going to go to channel EQ, and we're going to go to high cut frequency. So let's say the beat drops here. So we're going to turn down, as you see, I'm going to turn on my EQ here. And it's going to adjust. Oh, didn't select both. And if we put it at the start of our track, you can see it's adjusted already. It's going to slowly rise up as the beat goes. But we don't want it that low because we're not going to really hear anything. So we're going to put it at about 800 on the scale here. And we're going to put that to the max. So you can see that adds a lot of character to the beat right there already. And one thing you can do is you can turn on this automation curve tool. So if you go up to your toolbar here, automation curve tool. Command on your keyboard, and you can drag up or down depending on what you want. So if you have it up, the automation is going to come in quicker, but if you have it down, it's going to be a little shorter and a little more like rapid fire as it's about to drop. Can lower this a bit more.
Whip it up, chef.
Personally, I think that's a little slow because I want to hear that percussion kind of come in a bit. So I am going to actually drag this up just a tad. So that was the automation curve tool I just went over. There's also an automation select tool. So let's say you hold command and you have a couple more dots here. But you want to select all these dots. To like delete them, you can command highlight all the dots, and that makes it a lot easier because if you don't have the curve, or if you don't have the select tool on, you're not going to be able to highlight all of them. So that is another handy shortcut to getting rid of the dots. And I'm just going to command Z back to what I had because I like that curve I had. say instead you didn't want to just affect all the tracks, you can just go to each individual track and put on your own parameters. Like on this one, it's a vocal chop that hits on the beat drop. So you can see I have volume on. So I just went to volume. You can see I have it started at negative 28 dB, and I have it curve up to negative 6 dB. So it's like gets louder as the beat hits. But honestly, the main thing I like to do is high cut frequencies and low cut frequencies. So what low cut is, let me just turn on low cut on the master again. Pull up our EQ so you can see what's happening. Yeah, I'm not touching anything. That's just automating by itself with that line I made. So that's what a, we don't want that much, but that's what a low pass filter will do for you. Or low cut frequency, sorry. Very neat. That I can also add, sometimes I'll do that over a high cut frequency. We have these, this parameter right here, it says read. So usually you keep it on read, but if you want to kind of automate things as you're playing it, so you want to turn it to touch, and you can go to, let's say, the channel EQ, and we want to go with a high cut frequency again. So we can turn that on. Let's just erase this. And we're actually going to go to our EQ. Turn this off, turn this off. You can see, since I have touch on, it's you can see on the blue line down here that whenever I let go of it, it's going to come back. But I can adjust this like with my hand, which is cool because you can have a little more human feel with it. You can adjust the low pass. But that's just not for the EQ. You can do that with, let's say you wanted some overdrive on it. You can do that with any plugin. So I think that is a really neat ace. Like I have this little break here in the beat. Check it out. So I added there's two types of automation. So the automation I just went over with the like the regions here when you arrange your beat, but also let's say sometimes I do this on my hi-hats. You can also click A or click this button up here for automation, and you can adjust. Let me just solo this for you guys. You can adjust the note velocities with automation. If you drag, you can do some crazy stuff. So you can hear it's getting kind of softer depending on how much velocity I add. And you can change, there's a bunch of parameters you can do. You can go from MIDI pan, modulation, expression, pitch bend. The ones I'd mainly use is note velocity for hi-hats, a little bit of MIDI panning, so you can pan hi-hat notes back and forth between ears. Let me just show you that. To close out the video, I'm just going to play the beat again so you can hear it.